This podcast is brought to you by Anchor. If you don't know by now, Anchor is the easiest way to record your podcast and get it out to your listeners. Anchor allows for you to record from anywhere using your web-enabled device like computer or smartphone. It has built-in creation tools to make editing and presenting your episodes a breeze. And when you're finished, Anchor distributes your podcast for you so you can be heard on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and many more podcast platforms. Anchor even allows you to make money from ads like this one, no matter the size of your audience. And the best part about it all is it's absolutely free. Anchor is the easiest way to start your podcast. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. And welcome to the second Turnbuckle podcast. I said burn because it's burning hot today. It is 1,000,000 degrees in this small kitchenette.
It really is.
Of a studio apartment. I am Jay, and that's the captain.
Hey guys, how's everybody doing out there? I say to the void.
Well, I feel like we're trying to be better. It's been a interesting few weeks.
Yeah, man, ton has happened. Tons of real world stuff.
Yeah, let me adjust my mic because I know last time I used this mic, I was breathing all over the place. Let's see if that's any better. Probably not. Probably not. But
Oh, if I can hear anything on my end, I'll address you. I'll say, "Yo, fix your stuff."
Stop sounding like Darth Vader.
All right. We're finally back doing something. Luckily we've had some content to upload to Anchor over the last couple of weeks, some old episodes we used to do back, in 2017. But some real world stuff has contributed to us not making anything new, and there's been no last ride for the last 2 weeks. So yeah, it's just been it's been a whirlwind, to be perfectly honest.
We've been in a very weird place. Especially here at the podcast, we're still trying to figure out the best way to record. I know Anchor hasn't been doing us well. We had some episodes, but then it was like, for whatever reason, we had a weird audio lag.
Yeah, I don't know. We thought we had fixed it, and then it came right back and worse, I think, this time. Because the what was it, episode 4 or 5 or something? We had it, but it wasn't that bad. And it went away for a little bit, and then full swing 3 weeks ago, where it was almost unlistenable.
Right, we tried to do our predictions for AEW, and we couldn't get through it.
Nope, it was really bad. Like, it was even worse than the one we left up with Brian the Lion when he was last on.
And then we had weird audio. We had a bunch of issues when we tried to do Worst of the 2010s, which is still coming out, by the way. But we just had so many problems. Lady banging on my door in my apartment complex because she forgot to take her laundry out when it came out.
You're still seething about that one.
Yeah, because we can't be responsible adults here in 2020 in an apartment building.
Apparently, freaking not.
But anyway, then we had to deal with kind of a bit of a sad segue. We had to deal with the tragic slaying of innocent until proven otherwise black man, George Floyd.
Yeah, I mean, it's that's the right wording, is slaying. I mean, this was murder. It's really hard to watch the video and not come up with anything else.
Honestly, I still haven't watched the video. The Washington Post put up a video of like the last 30 minutes of his life, and I was able to watch what led up to and what happened afterwards, but I refuse to watch that video because I'm tired.
Yeah, it's tough.
As an African American man myself, I'm kind of tired. So it was George Floyd. Earlier than that, it was a young man down in Georgia who was killed by the two white men who were following him around as he jogged.
Arbery.
Yes, and even down to the 75-year-old man who was shoved in New York and who was trying to protest as well.
It's because it's hard to articulate, but bleeding from the ear, that's number one sign. That's brain trauma. That's brain damage. I mean, that's internal hemorrhaging. That's in your brain. That's for a 75-year-old man. I mean, I haven't heard if he's passed away,
No, he's doing okay.
but I mean,
he's out of ICU and he's still in the hospital.
okay, that's good. But I mean, it's very easy to see that could have gone the other way.
Most definitely, but we're just it's hard to record a small podcast when you're being affected by the protest and the unfortunate looting, which had nothing to do with the protest. This was just
none, absolutely zero. I mean, these were people that were just taking advantage of a national movement, and they pissed me off.
Yeah, I have to defend protesters for that all the time. On the
I will defend life and limb. A lot of people, I forget the old saying. It's something to the effect of, and I may not agree with what you say, but I'll die for your right to say it, or something to that effect.
Right.
And I'm not saying I do or don't agree with the protesting. That's not the point. But the point is that it is absolutely their right to do so, and it being hijacked by people who, by the way, like, let's be honest here, the looting had nothing to do with honoring George Floyd, who was murdered by this guy. I mean, it was a hijacked movement.
Most definitely. They were actually looting a few blocks from my house last Sunday evening. It was a very interesting experience because I had friends in the protest. I didn't go to the protest myself because of family reasons, but this sort of thing always brings up a conversation I'm tired of having. I really sort of mirror the sentiments of Xavier Wood and Austin Creed. If you haven't watched his video on his channel, he went along to say my entire life have really kind of spent it trying to figure out how to present myself as non-threatening so the police won't have a reason to mess with me.
I've been hearing that a lot the last couple of weeks. There's been a lot of stories, especially from the front lines, people that are just kind of tired of this.
Yes, so it's a thing. We're gonna probably delve into this a little bit more on Saturday.
Yeah,
but us here at the Second Turnbuckle podcast, we want to use the small, tiny bit of platform we have to say that we're not okay with this. We need change now. You shouldn't be a scary police officer. You shouldn't be a police officer with some sort of power trip. A police officer is still a very noble career to have. I don't agree with defunding the police completely, but I do think we need to reassess who we hire, how we train, and where money goes. And I think that we're gonna leave that there for right now. That was
we could get lost in this topic, and there's so much to go on. We could get lost in this for an hour, but guys, we did feel like we had to say something because it's a national movement and it is an important discussion. And believe me, privately, I've had my own conversations, my own private Facebook page. I've had the conversation. I've debated for weeks on end over various solutions and problems and such. And we could do this forever, but that's not the point. We want to get you guys, we want to get your minds away from this thing.
Right.
But we did feel like we had to address it.
Yes, it really affected.
At least a little bit.
Yeah, it affected how we posted. It affected how we live our lives. I know most of us at the Second Turnbuckle podcast, most of our contributors are African American. So I feel like that a lot of the places I get my news from and the people I look up to in professional wrestling, social media, and journalism are European and from the UK. So it's very rare that we have a African American voice in professional wrestling podcasts, and I just wanted to use part of my little platform here to just voice my opinion, and we'll probably do a little bit more later, but again, we want to get our minds off of this. We only addressed it because it has messed with our otherwise solid or semi-solid schedule of programming that we have for you guys. And
Yeah.
we'll
Luckily, we did have stuff to put up.
Right, we did have a backlog of things. But anyway,
all right. Let's move past that.
This is a hard.
Let's get
segue.
to some upbeat stuff. Let's get to some wrestling. We had some good stuff over the weekend.
We had some decent wrestling over the weekend. We had In Your House, NXT. Kind of gimmicky. I hope they don't do it again.
It was gimmicky. I mean, it was fun. You know, it was a thing for the nostalgia crowd. It was along the same line as when they brought back War Games. I mean, War Games is an actual match stipulation. It's not an aesthetic change to a stage. But, you know, it was cool. I'm okay if it's a one-off. I'm okay if it returns.
I will okay it returning if Code Orange has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, it was really strange because, like, you had this, like, homey type setting being, you know, tested by Code Orange, a metal band, and it kind of threw off the dynamic a little bit.
That being said, I don't mind Code Orange at all. I actually love Aleister Black's theme song. It just really threw me off. At this point, I'm gonna bring this up later, but this was my first time seeing Punishment Martinez, aka Damian Priest, wrestle a full match in NXT. So when I saw the lead singer of Code Orange, I was like, "Oh, he does this too?"
Oh my god, no! Damian Priest and the lead singer are different people.
Cause they look very they look very similar.
When I'm watching with my group, Brian the Lion, because full disclosure, I live with the guy, and we were watching, and at the very beginning, we panned to, I think he was either the bassist or the lead guitarist or whatever.
The bassist.
And they were like, "Doesn't he look like Brock Lesnar in Minnesota?"
Yeah, it was the bassist.
And we paused it on his face, and we were like, "Oh my god, he does."
It was that guy making that face. You know the face.
Yes, the face.
Yeah, that was the bassist. I was like, oh yeah, he must be the bassist because there's no bass playing right now.
And, yeah, it was funny. It was really funny. That was about the only funny part of the intro.
And people wonder why they make bassist jokes. Anyway, let's get to the first match. It was Team Yum versus Team Luray.
I did not agree with this one. Personally, I thought this was a bad decision, but it's NXT. If anybody can make a loss, honestly, I didn't think the heels deserved. I thought Luray needed the win more, so I based my predictions off of who would need a win more. And I thought Team Luray needed the win more, so I gave them that in my predictions. I was wrong, but I'm okay with it.
I was right. I like how they handled Team Luray taking the loss. Candice LeRae did not take the pin. So, I mean, did she lose?
Yeah, I mean, if anything, you still have that claim, and they're doing the whole thing with her and Gargano, who, spoiler alert, also lost his match.
Yeah, he can't win them all, right?
Nope, can't win them all.
Because I went into figuring if Team Yim is going to win, they can't have Keith Lee retain. You know, that wouldn't make sense.
You were wrong on that as well.
Yeah, I know. But part of me is partial to Johnny Wrestling. But it was I didn't like this match. It kind of exposed some of your more non-seasoned wrestlers. There was this one segment.
You were talking Raquel, right? Is this what you were you're transitioning into?
Yeah, no, it's all in the same segment. She did look a little green in the match, but there was this one part where like everyone went for their high spot. So I think Shotzi Blackheart went for a middle rope dive, and she caught her foot, and then Raquel caught her. I don't know if that was planned or not, because that caused Mia Yim to kind of hesitate and not get all the speed she needed to really complete her middle rope dive.
I'm not sure. It did look a little strange watching it, but I think Mia Yim has come quite a bit of ways, and she kind of masked it well, kind of not. If you weren't really looking for it, I think you skipped right over it. But yeah, I saw it too.
But no, what caught my eye was the Shotzi catching her foot, and that is what really sort of brought me to me. I'm kind of like, eh.
Right.
And then other than
Right.
that,
Right. Right.
I kind of forget at times that NXT is still a developmental territory. So,
Well, yeah. I mean, we've had what is this? This was the 29th takeover. We've had 29 takeovers, and they've all been at least good. There's been like one that's okay, and that was the original,
yeah,
and the rest are good or amazing. So, I mean, yeah, it is a developmental brand. They're trying to make it the third brand, but we do also have to remember that it is a developmental brand in the end. So people like Raquel Gonzalez, like Shotzi Blackheart, while they may not be at the prime, at the top of their game, they are still learning. And I actually did not hear these two names before Takeover. Had you?
yeah, I heard of Raquel Gonzalez. She was in one of the I think she was in the Mae Young Classic, and she lost in the first round. Shotzi Blackheart, I did my research on her. She did some stuff in, I think, Shimmer or Glimmer, and then she worked for some other promotions. She got signed at one of those feeder promotions that NXT works with often. Progress, I believe.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so she came up through Progress. William Regal presented the contract himself, from what I believe, from what I read. And yeah, it's just one of those things where I actually have this written down at the end of my page here. I have an actual notebook for this stuff now, producer's notes and whatnot. But do you think that since they're trying to transition NXT to the third brand, that they need a legitimate like wrestling school now?
Um, I guess that's a good question. I would argue not necessarily, and the reason I say that is because Triple H has kind of taken this role of gutting the indies for talent. So I don't think you need to necessarily have homegrown talent when you have that's excuse me, that system already in place. So we saw this with ICW and the rest of the English Rev Pro and like the rest of uh the English not territory promotions. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
With the English promotions, we saw Triple H kind of go in and remove all of the big time stars, the Joseph Connors, the Pete Dunnes, the Tyler Bates, the Wolfgangs, etc., and build NXT UK. So I it's kind of hard to argue when you already have that system in place that you need a wrestling school.
Okay, well, so
It wouldn't be the worst idea in the world, but I don't think it's entirely necessary. It
check
was
me
my
out.
long, but yeah. Go ahead.
So here's the way I see it. Um, was NXT originally supposed to be used to get indie guys over? Yes.
In a way, yes.
Do all of the indie guys who come through NXT need to be taught in NXT? I'm gonna say
Uh,
60% of them don't. They don't need.
well, I would say yes, but not from a wrestling standpoint. So,
Yeah, I'm
a
getting.
lot of times in NXT, it wasn't necessarily that they were getting wrestling training; they were getting the WWE experience training. So, a lot of the
Yes.
times they're in the Indies, there's no hard cam, so they're not facing the hard cam for a pin. Like it's not as cinematic on the Indies necessarily as it is in wrestling. And I don't mean this new cinematic era. I mean where camera positioning is important. So
Most definitely.
in Rev Pro in ICW, it doesn't necessarily matter as much. It still matters, but not as much because they don't have a national television deal. Whereas WWE has a national television deal, so you kind of have to perform in a little bit different of a way.
But that's kind of my
So,
point. That therein lies my point. So you have
uh-huh.
NXT to teach you the WWE style, but they don't really teach you how to wrestle. And if they do, we haven't seen a lot of people. Hear me out. If they
Okay,
do,
okay.
we haven't seen a lot of examples of this on the main roster. Like, think of, well, to keep it 100, they already sort of scoop out people who have do something similar. So you have an athletic background, you have a mixed martial arts background, you have a amateur or Olympic wrestling background, and you have maybe boxing, and then you come here and you learn other things. But there's a small percentage of people that are actually teaching how to wrestle at this point.
Right.
So I think NXT has really only been used to teach guys the WWE style. And then you have that
versus a like actual like running the ropes, doing chain wrestling, which I'm sure they do, but they probably do it more as a refinement tech and staying tip top tech version of training, as opposed to a learning style of training. I think I see your point.
Right. So you have a guy like Killer Cross who's already been on TV, who already knows the hard cam. Like, there are other things you have to learn too. Like, Chris Jericho was really giving you the difference. Or I was listening to something he said, and he was telling us the difference between WWE and WCW. You know the ring is different. The hard cam is kind of different. The ropes can be different from each promotion to each promotion. And then there are other sort of nuances that you have to learn too in WWE. Like, refs do different things. Certain things might mean other things. So, like, you have to learn the system. But that's after you learn how to wrestle. So you have people who are learning how to wrestle, and they're also trying to learn the system. And that might throw people off.
Right. And tying it all back, do you think that's what the Raquel Gonzalez problem is? Is that it's a not necessarily a wrestling problem, it's a learning the system problem, or is it? Do you think there's maybe a mixture?
Probably a mixture, but she's still new. You know, I think this is only like her 5th year wrestling.
Oh, okay.
She started training in about 2014. I don't know when she started having matches like that, so I can't really tell you. There's not a lot learned.
Gotcha.
There's not a lot known about her on the interwebs, so I wasn't able to dig very deep.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I enjoyed the match. It was a solid opener. I enjoyed.
Yeah, I mean, it was fine.
They were able to push the Mia Yim and Candice LeRae feud by having them go to the back. Shotzi Blackheart was just kind of there, and then I forget her name. Who pinned Team Kick? Dakota Kai.
Tegan Knox.
Tegan Knox, yeah. This was my first Tegan Knox match as well. So Tegan Knox got the pin. I know they have history together. So that was great.
Did you not watch what the hell was it? What was the last takeover? Because she was on the last takeover.
So
there was also the takeover where Tegan Knox turned heel.
Yeah, I watched that.
So
was it? No, it was Dakota Kai turned heel.
Or yeah, Dakota Kai rather.
I watched that one. So another peek.
But yeah, I mean, like you say, solid opener. It did what it needed to do for an opener. It didn't set the world on fire, but it got the crowd excited. These are the future of the women's division.
The crowd.
These are going to be people that we have to keep our eyes on. So
I have another opinion about that, but I'll save that one for a little bit later.
Okay.
The air quotes crowd.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we have no crowd, so
I didn't watch the previous takeover. I just now came into having Disney Plus, so I was able to trade a Disney Plus password and login information for WWE Network login information.
Gotcha.
So I shall be using this form of New Age barter to watch everything I missed.
I gotcha. Right. You can also watch the Last Ride stuff easier now.
I can. All right.
All right.
Damian Priest and Finn
what was
Balor.
after? Was that the second match?
Yeah, that match was crazy.
This match was very good. I was extremely impressed with Damian Priest. I think he's obviously Punishment Martinez.
Yeah.
I think he's very fluid in the ring. He doesn't necessarily strike me as a new kind of wrestler. We've seen his breed of wrestling before. I mean, he's I very much gotten Finn Balor-esque vibes in a way. The very athletic, very high impact move set, but able to wow spectators, if you will. Um,
Spectators.
yeah, quote unquote spectators. All the wrestlers in there are like, yeah, we already know this guy.
I've seen
So,
him in class.
oh, did you?
No, that's the wrestlers. I've seen him. I
Oh,
had class.
you're.
I had class with
Gotcha.
him
You're quoting. Yeah, yeah. We were training with Sean
together.
together. Why is why is our spectator our create a spectator wrestler have a lower voice than James Ellsworth
Oh wow,
or higher voice rather?
two fists in a fighting chance.
Moving right along. Yeah, this match was very good. I won't say it's match of the night. I think the women's triple threat was the match of the night. My personal opinion.
So might
But
I add, wholly complicated entrances, Batman.
yes,
I did not know Damian Priest's entrance had that much involved with it.
yes, it's yeah, it's very like it's very Baron Corbin esque, except obviously you could see Baron Corbin the entire time. But yeah, Priest's little free spotlight in different places, and then it shines on him, and he shoots the board, and his name appears. It's very interesting.
And then he gets into the ring and he dances around a little bit and he shoots the
The Titantron
on top
or
of the screen right
I forget
above
what
the ring.
the yeah the screens the screen the ring screens.
Yeah, I was like, oh wow,
That's what I'm calling them. The ring screens.
ring
That's what I'm
screens.
calling them.
I was like, oh, alrighty then. It
Yeah,
it was
he's got a very cool gimmick, or at least very visually appealing entrance gimmick, if you will.
he does. I enjoyed the match. He sort of reminds me of Luchasaurus.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so all the kicks and the it's like his
Yeah,
mixed
he's got a very stiff style, and he's tall. He's tall, so there's some parallels there. I mean, Finn Balor's not exactly a mountain of a man, but he's not super short either. I know he is decently short for a male. I think he's like 5'11" or 6 even,
yeah,
which isn't necessarily short, but for wrestlers,
more than
they're usually
average.
around 6'2". Right.
What else do I have written here?
So
The crowd kind of exposed how much I don't like hearing a referee talk.
yeah,
Like you can't win it out there. We know. They know.
yeah. It well, I think being a wrestler and being a fan is it's a very different dichotomy. So
True.
when you are in the promotion, you see these guys every day. You know you may not necessarily know what's going to happen, but you know how they work. You've eaten food with these guys and or these girls, and going from a wrestling perspective to a fan perspective and having to stay in that fan role is probably difficult, but it's also very strange. You can obviously tell that it's not the traditional fan uh, dichotomy. It's not the traditional fan messaging.
Right.
So it comes across very, what's the word I'm looking for?
Programmed.
Like pushed, very created.
Yeah.
What's the word? Fabricated.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for.
So
It's very fabricated.
So I'm about halfway through the pay per view, and I haven't gotten to a point where there's like a massive boo. It's just kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna cheer for this guy. Now I'm gonna cheer for this guy, and now I'm gonna cheer for this guy. You know?
Yeah, and I don't know how necessarily damaging it is. Maybe in NXT, it's not necessarily super damaging, especially because anybody that gives a shit is at home watching.
True.
And not that the wrestlers don't give a shit, but from a fan perspective, we care a lot more about what happens to the characters we enjoy than the wrestlers do necessarily. And that's not a hack on the wrestlers by any means. I'm sure they all want the other members to do well because NXT does well, everybody does well, and whatever bonuses and rewards and shit come along with that. But they're focused on their characters. They're focused on what they're doing with their performances. The fans are paying attention to everybody, and what we want, if we don't get it, we can't show that. We can't, like, obviously there's Twitter and there's Facebook and what have you, but there's not a in person immediate response to anything, not at the level a fan would have.
This is true.
My long-winded way of saying bring fans back safely.
It'd be great. At least family members, close people. Like, I know these people got kids. Let them bring their kids to work so they can watch wrestling. Kids are honest. And
brutally honest.
One last critique on the match. I don't care how bad you beat me up. Unless you knock me out, you better not pose at me after you finish beating me up. At the end of the match.
What do you mean?
At the end of the match where not punishment. Damian Priest is in the corner looking all winded, and then Finn Balor standing there, and he points down at him with a double point.
Oh, right.
All Kenny Omega style.
Setting up the missile drop kick into the coup de grace.
It's like, bro, don't you disrespect me like that. You already won.
I will say the ending of the match felt very off to me.
Kind of.
Like there was something missing. Right?
A little bit, yeah.
I forget exactly what happened.
So at the end of the match, Damian Priest fell into the steel steps. And then when he got back into the ring, Balor hit the double foot stomp to the back. And then he hit this really long coup de grace that almost didn't make it. And then that's when he got the cover.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I remember watching them. I didn't write down too much about this match. But I remember not necessarily feeling deflated after the match. I still remember, like, yeah, that was good. That was a very good match. But I do remember the ending. I was kind of like, oh, wait, it's over? He's setting up. It's done?
Yeah.
He's setting up the coup de grace. It's done already?
It was abrupt.
Okay. And nothing, I mean, it had gone on a while. When you say abrupt, I don't think you mean like it was a 2-minute match, boom, done.
No, the ending just kind of
the flow of it was very abrupt. I agree.
Yeah, it was a great match. You know, it's not match of the night. I might give that to maybe Tommaso versus Karrion Kross. I'm just so used to calling him Killer Kross at this point.
Yeah, it's Karrion Kross.
I prefer Killer Kross.
I agree, but they can't keep that.
Right.
So
forgive the random knocking in the background. We have windows open and we get a really nice breeze here in beautiful sunny Long Beach. So now the sun has had his way with us. It's kind of like that one level of Mario where the sun is trying to kill you.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, now that the sun has had its way with us, the breeze is coming through, and now the blinds are kind of knocking. So if you hear a knock in the background, excuse me.
Man, you gotta stay cool. I got a fan on me right now. Hopefully, it's not creating too much background noise.
I don't hear too much about it, but yeah.
All right, cool. What did we have? Match number 3.
Match number 3 was Keith Lee versus Johnny Gargano.
This was my, when this match happened, I was like, okay, this is going to be either very close to match of the night or match of the night. Because I was still pulling for the women's triple threat. I was kind of biased heading into it. I thought that was going to be the best. So maybe that contributed to my match of the night decision. But Keith Lee is an absolute superstar.
Of course.
I mean, Johnny Gargano is the most consistent wrestler. I mean, he delivers every single match he's in, every single time. I mean, he reminds me a lot of Sami Zayn in that he's extremely consistent in quality. When you have a Johnny Gargano match, you know it's going to be good, and he can wrestle he could wrestle a fountain of pens and be good. I mean, he's incredible. And Keith Lee, what am I trying to say here? Let me think this through a little bit.
While you do that, can I just say I really don't like Keith Lee's theme song? I feel like they could have done better.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly think CFO isn't that creative.
They're really not. I mean, they've come up with some real good songs. Like Kevin Owens' theme fits him very well. It's very good.
Glorious.
Finn Balor's theme is very good, glorious. But I think as time has gone on, they've just kind of, I don't know. Their songs feel very create a wrestler in WWE 2K18. Slap this song. Okay, cool.
You're slap done. Like now.
Yeah, it's. Anyway, what I was trying to say before is the chemistry between Keith Lee and Gargano I found very good. I mean, they didn't seem to be calling a lot, or if they were, they were quiet, which John Cena needs to learn.
Yeah, John Cena can't have empty arena matches.
No, that's why he's not there, among other reasons. But I don't know if they were calling it a lot, but they just seemed to work very well together. I would love a long-term program between the two that lasts longer than a month and a half. I mean, I would love to see a 3-month, 4-month thing on the main roster. Truth be told, I think Keith Lee is the next not the next big thing like Brock next big thing, but I think he's going to be a force to be reckoned with, or at least I really hope. I really like Keith Lee, is what I'm trying to say.
And hopefully he goes to
I really like Keith Lee. Yes, absolutely.
We'll do.
I really want him and Roman Reigns to have a thing again. I think they would work very well together.
Well, they kind of anointed him as the next big thing just by the way he was booked in that match.
Yeah, he came off very strong.
Even in defeat.
Lee did.
But I saw parts of this match. I'm on it right now. I just love heel Gargano.
I do too. I didn't think I would enjoy it very much because his style and his mannerisms, and he's got this whole geek charm thing. It fits a face more. Yeah. But yeah, I've been enjoying it. I think Candice LeRae helps a lot because she's very charming.
Yes, she is. But great match.
Sorry,
you're fine. You know, we cough sometimes.
Yeah.
I wanted Gargano to take this
behind the scenes. I'm having some elote and the chili powder caught the wrong tube.
Ooh, that sounds wonderful. I'm having tacos tonight.
Ooh, nice.
Yes, it's wonderful.
Mexican cuisine here on the Second Turnbuckle podcast.
And it's Tuesday. And
on Tuesday.
On Tuesday, we have tacos.
I have tacos any day.
True. This is California.
Well, yeah. You can drive anywhere in 3 miles in any direction, and you'll find a taco stand somewhere.
Right, but not a good taco. I have a taco spot around the corner. $1 tacos after 5 o'clock.
Nice.
Amazing. So, yeah.
Very nice. Street tacos?
Street tacos.
Street tacos.
Yes.
I used to be so against the idea of street tacos when I was a 13-year-old, do nothing wrong, goody two-shoes boy. It's illegal. And now I don't care.
Now it's please take my money.
Please give me. Not even 13, even at 18, because I didn't necessarily grow up in a posh neighborhood. I know we're getting off topic, so I'll be quick. But we didn't have street taco type things where I was. Anywhere from when I was 0 to 17. So street tacos was not necessarily something that I knew was a thing. And at first I was very against the idea. Now I don't give a shit.
Same.
Anyways. Wrestling.
Great match. You put these
very good.
2 proven performers. I think I put all you guys on the Keith Lee.
Yep.
So, 2 proven performers.
The next thing I think they need to do, I think they need to move Finn Balor and have him face Keith Lee. I think that should be next, or have Finn Balor chase the title. One or the other.
Finn Balor can chase the North American title.
That's what I mean. Put him with Lee. That's what I would really like.
That'd be great. Next match, speaking of titles, is the Velveteen Dream versus Adam Cole.
Yep, this was the title match.
Wait for it. Bebe.
Yes.
Featuring Dexter Lumis, the creeper in which he is.
Yes. And he kidnapped
Fish
his face. Fish and O'Reilly.
Yeah. Red
Dragon. Or Fish and Strong, rather.
Oh, where was...
I believe.
O'Reilly.
I don't remember. Truth be told, this part of the match I wasn't paying super close attention to. There was something at the house. We were doing drinking rules or something or whatever. So this might have been the point where I was taking a shot. So, so I will plead a little bit of situational ignorance on this one, and I didn't go back and rewatch In Your House. So.
I have not watched the match either. I kind of figured they wouldn't put the belt on Dream because of this whole thing he has going on.
I was really hoping for it, which is why I gave him the win in this.
Yeah.
But as it kind of drew closer, I mean, my predictions were already locked in, but the more and more I drew closer to it, I'm like, they're not going to give it to him.
So they're not. I forgot NXT In Your House was Sunday, and on Sunday I'm like, okay, what's the card? And I just bang, 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 and I was half right.
Yeah,
I went 3-3 on Sunday, which isn't bad.
So did I, and the problem is I went 3-3, even with knowledge of what had happened the last 2 weeks in NXT because we had just watched them.
Yeah,
and I'm pissed.
I don't know what to tell you.
This was a very Adam Cole match. There was some cool stuff, but I mean, in the end, it's Adam Cole, and you got what you expected. Dream might just be. I said Damian Priest impressed me with how smooth he wrestles. Velveteen Dream might be the most fluid wrestler I've ever seen. He transitions from moves and from situations with incredible ease. It's very strange. So I've never seen somebody go from one high impact move to another and make it look so seamless.
I'll give you that one. But with me, it's between him and Swerve, Isaiah Scott.
Swerve is very good too. Maybe it's just because I've not seen so much of Shane Strickland as much as I have of Velveteen Dream. I mean, that could change. But,
do you have Netflix?
Yeah, I agree. I do.
Might I suggest
Lucha?
Yes, if it's still available.
Yeah.
He was Killshot.
I think it was pulled.
Oh no.
I believe it was pulled. It's probably on YouTube somewhere or on some other streaming somewhere.
Or you can just watch his matches specifically. I'm gonna send you some links to his matches in PCW.
I did see one of him in what the hell is it? I think MLW, Major League Wrestling.
He was there too.
And it was like a cage match or a War Games match or something to that effect, and he was in it, and that was cool.
Yeah, so I'll send you some of his stuff.
But anyway,
you got
this one, since we both didn't really have much to say on this.
I enjoyed Dexter Lumis's sort of involvement in this match. He's been a weird character ever since I've been following him.
I'm not too versed on Dexter Lumis.
He wasn't Dexter Lumis before, but he had he was in TNA at the same time Styles left. He was
2014.
Yeah. So he was sort of one of their Tough Enough participants. They have this thing called Gut Check. And that's their equivalent to Tough Enough. And so he participated in there. Not sure if he won or not, but he got a contract. As most of these places do. Most guys who end up in Tough Enough eventually end up working for the company in some capacity, a la Velveteen Dream.
Right.
So yeah, he He's been around. He actually had a match in the new NWA on YouTube, and then he showed up in the Performance Center. So,
well, that's cool.
Yeah, very interesting.
That's very cool.
I'm kind of starting to tire of the Undisputed Era, and I'd like to see them break up.
I don't know that I necessarily agree.
I said what I said.
Okay. I mean, that's fair.
Yeah,
well, we have had almost a year, 2 years. 2 years? 2 years. Yeah, we've had almost 2 years of them. I mean, even the Shield didn't last that long.
So since NXT is now the main roster, you can break
no,
them
yeah,
up.
they did. No, they didn't. The Shield only lasted, what, a year and a half?
18 months, I believe.
TLC 2012, so December of 2012. So kind of null for 2012. And then right after Payback 2014. Yeah, so only a year and a half. So yeah, I mean, a breakup could be in order. I mean, Strong looked like he was going to leave a long time ago, and that never really happened. I would have liked them to have done it right then and there. I said they should have, but they didn't.
I think Strong should get kicked out, and then Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly should just sort of leave.
I mean, Cole has to lose the title first, assumingly.
No, I wouldn't even have him lose the title, especially now because they weren't able to help him win, and he kind of had to do everything on his own. It's like, why are you here?
And then they just kind of say, you don't need us anymore, and we're gonna take off.
You don't need us. More like, I don't need you.
Right. Oh, tyrannical dictator-esque type thing.
You turn Strong face, and then you kind of keep Fish and O'Reilly as sort of the entertaining tweener, and then
I mean, they can easily go right into the tag team division on Raw or SmackDown somewhere.
Yeah, you fill a hole that you've had in your divisions ever since the Usos are out, and I think they're needed on SmackDown.
Sure. I mean, Raw kind of has the whole Seth Rollins type thing going, so SmackDown needs something, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, like how many tag teams are on SmackDown? We're off topic. Let's stick with because
we're off topic. Yeah,
we still gotta find a way to hit Backlash predictions and talk about some.
It just means we go quickly.
Yeah. So we have the murder father versus the murder uncle. Tommaso Ciampa versus Karrion Kross.
Oh my lord. This was kind of the most predictable thing on the card. It was Karrion Kross's first takeover match. Nobody loses their first takeover match. I think Karrion Kross, they're trying to build the next big, the next Ciampa, basically.
I think they're trying to give him the Baszler
Scarlett Bordeaux. They're trying to give him what now?
I think they're trying to give him the Baszler push.
Yeah. They gave him Scarlett Bordeaux to work with. Basically, she's there to look at for now. I'm sure she'll have something else to do, but
she doesn't.
She's there to look at. I agree. She can wrestle too. I don't know if people know.
Yeah, I've seen her wrestle before.
They don't call her Scarlett Bordeaux. It's just Scarlett. But yeah, she's good. I mean, she's not like Toni Storm good, but she's not Becky Lynch good, but she's fine.
I've seen her wrestle before. I just think that the art of being a valet has kind of been lost now with the whole women's revolution thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing that really a good manager will do a lot for you. Killer Kross really doesn't need it. I think they're building him up to go straight for Adam Cole because he's beaten everybody else.
Right.
Which would be great.
It's a natural next progression. And if Karrion Kross wins, I mean, that's a pretty big stone's throw towards, okay, this guy's got some stuff. Let's see it.
Right.
This is definitely, I mean, this win over Ciampa is definitely setting Karrion Kross up for something. I mean, you just beat the guy who was not pinned for a year almost.
Yeah.
what I would say the best NXT champion ever.
I agree.
That's just me.
And then I'd like to
see
him.
Agree.
I'd like to see him work with Balor maybe, and then go on to Cole.
Or Damian Priest or something to that effect.
Not Priest yet. I think
I would like. I mean, I want everybody to be with Keith Lee because I think Keith Lee is fantastic. But you can do that. But then that means that they do a thing with the North American title that I don't think Karrion Kross needs to cross yet. No,
he doesn't. He doesn't need that at all.
Yeah,
but I think that'll be Damian Priest's next thing.
With Lee, and then Kross goes for Cole.
Right. Yes.
I would like to see Kross go after Cole, and Cole needs like to do some kind of shitty thing, like he that causes some kind of disqualification.
I can
and kind of has to run away from the match a little bit.
I can see that. Give me one more. I have to put my computer on airplane mode really quickly. Because I did a thing. I use this computer outside for production purposes, and I left the charger. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so we've got time. We've got time. I'm just trying to find some things to sort of help me with conserve power. Hopefully we'll be getting another stimulus check, because that'll go straight. Some of that will go straight to my production equipment, and that just means better quality for you guys and another computer.
We are doing this on the fly.
On the fly. So next we have the triple threat that I kind of saw it coming.
Oh, I mean, they had been building this for a while. I figured Io Shirai was going to be the next challenger, and we got that on NXT. Charlotte's and Io Shirai on NXT. It was very good. I don't know if you saw it or not.
I did.
The ending was really irritating, but yes. I see why they had to. They was a DQ finish. I didn't care for it. I thought it was kind of lazy. At the time, I didn't realize Rhea Ripley was coming back. I thought she still had the
visa.
The problem with getting back to the country.
Yes.
So I was like, this is kind of whatever. I mean, this just seems like a ploy to keep the title on Charlotte longer, until Ripley came back, and I was like, okay, this makes more sense. This is why they had that DQ finish, so that we could insert Ripley into the match, which is what happened, and I'm okay with that.
I'm not bothered.
Buzz? Yeah. Somebody's calling you?
No, I don't. Probably. I think you heard it and I didn't.
You getting some calls.
I think you heard it and I didn't.
Oh, really? That's funny.
Yeah. So
maybe it was me then.
It could have been you. Who knows?
Don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. So I agree with the move. It doesn't make sense to put the belt on Ripley.
And you called Ripley for this.
No, I called Shirai for this.
I thought you called.
No.
No, you did.
Yeah.
Ryan the Lion called Ripley.
Yeah, Denzel and I both called Shirai, and that's how we ended up in a tie.
Yeah. All right.
So
this was match of the night. This was a very, very good match. This is probably the second best women's match I've seen in NXT, and that's saying something. I still think the best one. I still to this day say the best women's match I've seen on NXT is Asuka versus what's her name? Nikki Cross.
I enjoyed
back when Asuka was mid-reign. That match was very good. This was a step below, but also very good. Very good.
I enjoyed. My favorite match was the 30-minute Iron Woman match.
Oh yeah, we did have those sets of matches in NXT, didn't we?
But anyway,
oh hell! All right, I'm gonna have to skip. I'm gonna have to change my ranking. But anyway,
anyways, my verdict.
Go
ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, just
Nah, I've been talking a while.
Just a quick verdict on NXT. I feel like NXT is struggling right now.
Okay.
Adam Cole and Undisputed Era are kind of getting old. Charlotte, question mark. What are we going to do with her now? I think she's done. I've heard she's done. I'm not sure.
Have you seen Raw?
Yes.
This week. Then you should know.
But she's been everywhere.
Yeah.
She's been on all three shows.
Right. I saw a article somewhere, I think it was Wrestling Inc., that said she wants to challenge for a men's title. Honestly, I don't know that they would do it. The reason I say that I don't know if they would do it is because the power of people whining on the internet is very strong.
TNA will do it.
I think if Charlotte lost to a man, some woman group somewhere would be less than pleased.
Impact would do it.
Impact would do it.
Hey Charlotte,
obviously they had the mixed tag. They had the mixed. What the hell? The mixed tag tournament, whatever the fuck it was called.
Yeah, but
mixed match challenge.
But it wasn't all it could be. Might I add that that has happened in Lucha Underground. Also, the name that escapes me, her finishing move is the Magnum.
I have no idea.
Dang it. Tessa Blanchard, there it is.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I've kind of stopped following Tessa Blanchard.
So she's the current Impact champion.
I knew that.
So if she wants to do it anywhere, Impact is a place to do it. And she only has one more thing she has not yet done in WWE, and that's hold the women's tag team champion. So if she can just form like a tag team with Natalya real quick, call it the Atomic Blondes, win the belts, break up.
Yes. Then she'll have done all everything there is, at least as far as the women's matches.
And then she can legitimately leave.
Yeah, she could. She won't, but she could.
She might. She's not a lifer.
You never know.
Her daddy wasn't a lifer. I think she's not going to be a lifer.
You think she'll go to TNA and have a wooing contest with Tessa Blanchard?
Or a dog.
Okay.
So yeah, I think NXT is really struggling right now. We'll see.
I don't think the women's division is struggling. I think the women's division right now is even stronger than it was 3 months ago.
It is now that Charlotte Flair is out of the picture. I don't know why NXT and NXT UK are two different things. I just feel like they should be the same thing.
It gives more wrestlers more chances to shine, I guess.
I mean, I get it, but still. It could just be the virus.
I would love to see Toni Storm on regular TV. Obviously, we can't have that now because Corona. But I would love to see Toni Storm every week.
But yeah, again, that could just be the coronavirus talking.
Right.
So let us get into our, like the two of us is usums. Let's get into our Backlash predictions really quickly.
Do we want to do Golden Turnbuckle first or after?
After. And hold on, wait a minute. We have named it. These are the Backlash 2020, the greatest non-title, semi-part-time, realistically pre-taped, not totally something we just saw at WrestleMania. Air quotes, wrestling match that might just be okay ever.
No. I did not think you were actually going to do this.
Why? I didn't sit here and think of that and not want to use it.
Oh my god. I thought you were joking when you were talking about this in the chat.
Nope.
All right. Well, that's what we're going with. I hope you know I'm not referring to it as that.
That's what I'm here
that's
for.
Way too fucking long.
Just made a funny in my head. Not gonna say it.
All right. Moving right along.
First question.
I'm going to start with the match that absolutely nobody cares about.
First question. Hold on.
That's
Wait a minute.
Sheamus and Jeff Hardy.
Before we get there, Why is the Intercontinental final not on this card?
Because Vince. I don't know.
Because Vince.
I don't know. Because Vince. Because they want to sell the next pay-per-view that nobody cares about. I don't know.
They're holding it. They're waiting until then.
I don't know. I'm guessing.
I hope it's not going to be on Friday.
Just a regular episode of SmackDown.
Like I would take like sort of a screwy finish and then sort of have them redo the match on Sunday. I'd be okay with that.
Right.
Some shenanigans.
A quick disclaimer here: anything that is amended, because they say the card is always subject to change. If the card is amended, whether something is added or removed, I will be tweeting during the show, and I'll get predictions from people in our chat in real time, and I'll tell everybody what our predictions are, and then they'll have it. But for purposes of the rest of predictions, that's what we'll be doing.
Yes.
Now.
So I do, but I think that it should just be a buy point.
Sheamus and Hardy, because nobody cares.
No. So if anything changes, it's like we did last time. It's a buy point.
It's a buy. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, whether something is changed or whether something is added. Because if it's added, I'm okay with us still having to predict that.
If it's added, we still have to predict it. But these are our predictions as of 6/9/2020. Nothing to do with the rapper that was released from prison because of snitching.
Yes.
It is June 9th, 2020, aka 6/9/2020.
Yes. I really wish I could rant more on Sheamus versus Hardy, because why is this match a thing?
Why?
I'm picking Jeff Hardy. He won on the last one. I don't see any reason for him to not win here, although it would be a very WWE thing to do, to have Sheamus win, because 50-50 booking is a thing.
Hey, what's up, Road Dogg?
Yeah. I don't know. This match is so pointless. This was the first match that I saw announced, and even when I saw it announced, this was my reaction, recreation right here on the podcast. Why? that was my reaction. That was it. Why is this match happening? Who legitimately, who cares?
So I maybe we'll put this as a poll on Twitter. Who wants to see Jeff Hardy and Sheamus wrestle in 2020?
Yes.
I don't.
I don't care about this match at all.
I don't. I'm gonna pick Jeff Hardy because as much as I know Sheamus might win and they might keep this going, I don't want to see this feud last any longer than it has to.
Exactly. It's so pointless. Let Hardy have a cool match with McIntyre or Strowman or something, because we know they're getting rid of the fucking they're doing the whole special rule again.
Yeah.
Because whatever reason they're deciding not to have a cool match with McIntyre or whatever, or have a cool match with Apollo Crews or something. But I don't know.
I mean,
this match just seems so pointless. This is gonna be the pre-show match. We all know it.
Hopefully. Unless we have another MVP match. Oh. So, yeah, I think we're all landsliding Hardy, if I can speak for everyone else on
probably
our podcast.
I will have a picture of the predictions up on Twitter, or I'll post it, or whatever.
Let's type it up
on
and give
Saturday.
them a screenshot. Yeah.
Yeah. Make it look a little more official than me scribbling some stuff down on tiny notebook paper.
Yeah, let's do that. Oh, so Universal title match: Braun Strowman versus The Miz and Morrison.
Yes.
Can I
Strowman's
say it?
winning this.
Yeah, Strowman.
Yeah. This is the most predictable,
filleriest feud They're kind of giving me the teenage high school sitcom vibe, and I don't think I should have that when I'm watching grown men who make way more money than me entertain me. Like I've seen this before, and not even in wrestling. I've just seen it in other places, and I don't want to see it here.
I'm watching an episode of Friends.
Yeah, no, I've seen this before, and I don't want to see it again here.
Yeah. Strowman is winning this. It's gonna be like 5 minutes long, and it should only be 5 minutes long.
Hopefully. All right, I'm calling my shot, guys. I'm calling my shot. Let's see if I can keep my undefeated streak going, or my prediction streak going here with this strange predictions. I have the Iconics winning the women's tag team championship 3-way. The current champs are Bayley and Sasha Banks. Not only do I have the Iconics winning, but I have the Bayley and Banks split happening in this match.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, this seems very predictable, but the timing is too good. Bayley is on the heels of this whole Bayley 2 belts thing. She's kind of lashing out at everybody, calling people unoriginal and kind of not giving a crap. They just won the tag belts. I very much think Sasha is going to turn on Bayley. Bayley's going to go face. Sasha's going to go heel the way it should be.
No.
And Cross and Bliss will be elsewhere, and the Iconics will take advantage. It just seems like something they would do.
I think that
I also really like Peyton Royce.
Yeah, me too. I think Bayley is going heel. I think Bayley is going to blame Sasha on the loss. She already is heel. Well, I mean, I think she's going to go further.
So you think she's going to force Sasha a face turn?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
We haven't had a Sasha face in a while. And I feel like the
Yeah, but that's because Sasha as a face is really...
But Bayley...
She's like the most milquetoast wrestler as a face.
But Bayley cut her hair.
More so than Randy Orton.
But Bayley cut her hair. Anyway, yeah, I think...
But Bayley...
We've agreed on the Iconics here.
Yeah, I agree. It just makes the most sense to me. Bliss and Cross just had it. I don't think it does anything to play hot potato with the tag belts. And
it does. It does
the
something
Iconics
all right.
Just came back. So I don't know. It just, the pieces seem to fall into place for the Iconics.
It does something all right. It makes your storytelling seem trash.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyways, WWE title match, guys. I'm going Lashley.
Really?
Give Lashley the damn belt.
If it was anybody but Drew McIntyre, I would agree, but I do not. I think McIntyre has been too good with the title. I do not think it's time for him to lose it yet. He beat Brock Lesnar. We do have to acknowledge that. And unless we're building to Lashley versus Lesnar, which I highly doubt.
I hope so.
Keep the belt on McIntyre. I just think he's too good in this role. And I don't want to see it come to an end here. But I just don't see it coming to an end here. I really don't.
It's happened. It's happened a month after a pay-per-view. It's happened a month after.
I mean, it's
WWE.
happened the day. It's happened the day after. It's happened the same night. Rey Mysterio says hi.
Why am I choosing Bobby Lashley? Because I want to.
All right. I mean, that's fair. It's predictions. You don't necessarily have to have super solid reasoning.
Should I be taking this seriously? Because I am in the running from the Golden Turnbuckle podcast. I feel like it should have been the Golden Turnbuckle, our championship around here. I feel like it should have been given to me like Triple H with the World Heavyweight Championship. But that's
you are not entitled to anything.
That's beside the point. I feel like it should have been mine, and I would have won if I had prepared for last week's predictions, but I didn't.
but you didn't.
Thug life.
So instead, you get to we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
The U.S. title match. I'm gonna move on from your entitlement. Apollo Crews, who just won the U.S. title, versus Andrade.
I feel like I'm not entitled. I'm just that damn good. Anyway, where did Apollo Crews get his last name back? When did Apollo Crews get his last name back?
I don't know. They've been calling him Apollo forever.
But I too have Crews. Money is on Crews.
Yep. This one seems not necessarily obvious, but I mean, why would you give it to Andrade? It just doesn't seem like the right move. Crews just won it. Everybody's super happy for the guy. It would kind of be a slap in the face.
Maybe we have some shenanigans from Angel Garza.
He seems to be kind of like face at this point. I think he's been trying to team with Aleister Black.
Yeah, so maybe
they have what's his name in his place. What's his face?
Owens.
I forget his name.
Didn't Aleister Black and
anyway?
Yeah, whatever. Whatevs.
Well, whatever. That's Raw stuff that I don't care about.
But yeah, I wouldn't take the belt off of Apollo Crews right now, especially with all that's going on in America. I can't take it.
That would be really funny.
I'd be
mad. It wouldn't be funny. That's the wrong one. The reaction of people would be funny, but that's because I'm an awful person.
Yeah, I mean, I too am a little
the thought of people
jaded.
being mad about it is kind of funny to me. But no, they should keep the belt on Crews. I agree.
But again, we got to wrap this up because I have like 30 minutes left on this battery here.
Oof.
Nothing but the best here at the Second Turnbuckle Podcast.
Nothing but the best.
But never fear. I thought about putting Reaper on my backup computer, but I didn't. So I'm probably just going to put this on a drive and then put Reaper on the other computer and finish up over there.
Gotcha.
So there is hope for this episode yet.
Ooh, I have 6% on my phone. Yeah, let's wrap this up.
Yeah, let's go ahead and wrap that thing up. A women's championship match. I think we both agree that Asuka is going to retain.
Yeah.
If they wanted to give Nia Jax the belt, they would have done it at Money in the Bank.
A while ago.
At Money in the Bank. Because, as
I
we
agree.
know, the belt was in the briefcase.
Yeah.
So you really just got to pick your guys. So if they wanted to pick this person, they would have. But we all know that Nia Jax treats wrestlers like sacks of potatoes, actual sacks of potatoes.
Actual sacks of potatoes, with no regard to the bruising of the potatoes.
Or the wrestlers she works with. She has literally injured, not EO, Sky Captain, Kairi Sane. Sky Pirate, yeah, she's
like twice
within 3 months.
Yeah,
I don't know if she's trying to get fired.
I made a joke in our chat. Like, this seems like a work to me. What is this? 4 times in a month?
I don't know if she's trying to get fired or someone was like, "Hey," or one of the old school guys was like, "Hey, rough this one up on the way out."
I've been very critical of Nia Jax since her time in NXT. I've never thought she was oh god, excuse me.
Let's save that
anything one. Special.
Let's save that one because we do have our next episode coming out this Saturday and or Sunday.
Yes.
This is going to be our Heat episode. We feel
yes
that it's 100 degrees out here and there's so much going on. We got to do an episode on Heat. Backstage Heat with fans, Heat with the company, Heat with other wrestlers, Heat just in our socio-political environment in 2020. Heat with this damn coronavirus. If you don't open up the Cheesecake Factory, I will fucking die.
You and I have to go to the Cheesecake Factory when it opens up.
Yes, we do.
I'll get some spaghetti and meatballs. You'll get whatever, and then we'll both.
I'm calling my shot. I'm gonna get some fried calamari. I'm probably gonna get the macaroni and cheeseburger just because is it a good burger? No, but do I like it? Yes. and I want me a slice of red velvet cheesecake.
Yes, that my man. We are in agreement.
Yes,
red velvet's so good. Oh,
it's amazing.
all right. Anyway,
yeah. So we
the
have
last match. I'm gonna let you take this one because I think you have something funny to say on this one. I know I do.
Oh yeah, when I wrote my predictions down, I actually forgot this match was on the card. But this is the thing they've been pushing this whole time. So
for like 2 months.
So it's this forgettable.
Okay, maybe not 2 months.
A whole month?
But whatever. Like a month and a half to 2 months.
Yeah. So we're getting Randy Orton versus Edge again.
Again, yes.
And I stick with I back my horse. So I'm going with Edge. Edge is my top 5. I'm seeing things about them trying to bring back Rated RKO. That'd be great. I'd love to see that.
That'd be cool.
We need tag
teams.
teams.
Tag division that could use they could definitely utilize the veteran presence that they have to kind of give some stuff to the young guys, something that the Dudley Boys should have been doing and kind of were when they returned in 2015, but not really.
Yeah.
So they did help the New Day. And I think Austin Creed, Xavier Woods, has said a couple times that the Dudley Boys really helped them out. But anyway, the funny thing that I have for this, I disagree. I have Orton winning because Edge won at Mania.
Yeah.
Give Orton this one.
But that means they have to have another match.
I would want another match, but
okay.
I want it this way. And I'm going to say it right now. If this happens, I will do one of two things. I will subscribe to the WWE Network for an entire year. Or I will watch every single episode of Raw from start to finish for a year.
Okay.
And if they do this, I will do one of those two things. Bell rings. RKO. 1, 2, 3. Done. That's it. If they do that
out of nowhere
for a year. And here's why. They've been building this. They're calling it the greatest match ever. They've been calling it this for like a month and a half. With all this buildup, I swear to God, if Randy Orton just plants an RKO and leaves,
that'd be wonderful.
It will be the greatest thing of all time. Because with how much they've been building this, if it's just a drop and run or a hit and run, it will be the greatest thing wrestling has ever seen. I will never criticize the company again.
So is this a 2 out of 3
I will
falls
laugh
match?
So hard. No, it's just a singles match.
So I would agree with Randy Orton winning if it led to one of those.
I really want, I swear, I so want that to happen. I can't begin to tell you.
But yeah, no, we've seen this already. I feel like Randy Orton actually trying to have a good match is still pretty fucking great, and even in 2020.
I just face Randy Orton, and he's kind of like, it's kind of hard to tell. He is the heel in this because Edge is the de facto face, but Orton isn't like Orton heel,
right?
If you know what I mean. He's just like
the best
normal wrestler heel.
Right, he's not.
Well, right now, not really.
Anyways, yeah. So we've covered everything. The women's tag scene is very small, although very interesting right now.
Yes.
The only thing I'm kind of upset about is this is Backlash, and we're getting no WrestleMania rematches.
Yeah, I mean, that was something I wanted to say, is that Backlash is typically something happened at Mania, so there's going to be some backlash for it. So I don't know why did this come after Money in the Bank? Makes absolutely zero sense to me, but neither does WWE. So
I mean, I think they had the concept of the whole corporate ladder, well, the whole Stamford thing, so they went with it.
But they could have done that this time around, and it would have had the exact same kind of reception.
Maybe Becky Lynch being pregnant had something to do with it. Who knows?
It's possible.
Anyways,
the golden turnbuckle.
Yes. So right now, we have official numbers, just like AEW. They are not available right now. They will be available on Twitter. I know it was a 3-way tie between myself, the Dirty Quarter, and the captain. And we were almost...
No, it was not. It was Brian. It was Brian the Lion.
Oh, no. It was.
I did miserably this one.
I thought you got 3-3.
Yes, but Brian the Lion did 5-1.
So I was getting there
in this event.
So it was a 3-way tie between the captain, the Dirty Quarter, and myself, the top guy.
Oh yes, yes.
Yes. Official nickname change: the top guy. Yes. Sure. Trademark. And Brian the Lion swept us 5-1.
And we all got destroyed.
And because of that, the powers that be, in their infinite wisdom, air quotes, have decided to make
totally match, not you and me. Just saying.
This is kayfabe, guys. The powers that be have decided to make my next match for this damn turnbuckle a triple threat. I don't know how to feel about it.
I do remember while we were doing one of the episodes that got cut, I think we were talking about it or maybe it made, I don't remember. The last 3 weeks have been weird. But one of the episodes, we were talking about what if this exact thing happened where somebody came in and beat us and then they had to be added to a Backlash for a triple threat. And, well, here we are.
Here we are. No, that one made it.
Yeah, there was no definitive winner at In Your House
for the
Dirty
title.
Quarter and the Dirty Quarter and Notorious. No, you're not the top guy. You're Notorious.
I am the top guy.
They tied. Okay, they tied. Had I tied, I still would not have been in it. It would have just carried over to the next pay-per-view, I would imagine. But we don't even have to worry about that because we all got blown out by Brian the Lion. I hope you get 0-7 on this card.
Yes. I hope
you get 0-7 on this card, too.
I hope I win, and that's all that matters because it's the team of me over here in Top Guy Land. Team J all day. Put it on a t-shirt.
Nope.
Yeah. I'm just a merch machine.
But yeah. So guys, that's our In Your House rundown, and that is our predictions for WWE Backlash 2020. I will be live tweeting during the event as I have for the last couple. Feel free to join with me. If not, I won't take it personally, but please do. It's all kinds of fun.
I'll join in with you because I'm just that damn good.
Okay.
Hey, it's character work, baby. Got to get done. Yeah, and that's been another successful episode of the Second Turnbuckle podcast. Kirk has like 3% to spare, and I have like an hour left on this computer battery. 28%.
Yeah, I'm at 5% on my phone, so
just close enough. See, that's why I'm so good at these. That's why I'm so good at these predictions. All right, guys. Feel free to follow us on Twitter. One thing we'd like for you to do in this episode, give us your opinion on the NXT situation. Do you think that WWE needs to open up FCW or OVW again just to sort of teach their wrestlers how to wrestle so we don't have people throwing human beings around like they don't inanimate objects, a la Nia Jax?
A la Nia Jax, yeah.
Or should they keep things the way they are? Follow us on Twitter at the OG_STP. We'll have links.
OG, ST, and P are all capital.
All capitals because that's the only way to do it.
On Facebook, the Second Turnbuckle podcast.
Yes.
I don't even have to say the Second Turnbuckle Wrestling podcast because there is only one page for anything Second Turnbuckle or podcast.
Only one.
Related on Facebook. Yeah, that's the one thing that's really cool is our SEO, our Google SEO.
Yeah.
It filters out everything. So if you search the Second Turnbuckle podcast, Facebook is the first thing that shows up.
That is wonderful. the little bit of behind the scenes stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and sign out for this wonderful episode. Again, we'll be back with the Undertaker Last Ride reactions next week around this time. Look for a new episode on Saturday, and look for our pilot podcast finally being available on Anchor sometime this week.
Yes.
All right, guys. It's getting tough out here. It's hot. The Rona is still running wild. I'm tired.
The Rona is still running wild.
I'm tired of the police being little punk bitches in the street.
Yeah.
And I know most of us are. So please be kind to one another.
Most of us are.
Please be kind to one another. Please wash your
hands. Yeah, overall, I mean, people are hurting. Friends and family are having some tough times. Talk to a friend about anything. It doesn't have to be about what's happening in the world, but just shine a little bit of light on someone else's day, including your own.
Right.
It's hard out here, man. It's hard out here.
Don't hold it in.
But wash yourself.
Wash your hands. Be kind to one another. If you see anyone engaging in any looting or riotous activity at a protest, stop them or distance yourself from them. We don't want to be labeled in the same category as these people trying to come up on some sort of free deals or something they can sell on eBay. Do
George
what you
Floyd
can.
and robbing Gucci have nothing to do with one another, and don't pretend that they do.
They don't. Be good to one another. Support a small local business is being affected. If you feel like it, I know I will support a Black-owned business. Thank you guys for listening, and you have a wonderful evening.